Hey, hello, good evening, everyone. Okay, so I will wait for another minute. So I will start from 6:05. Okay, so for others who have joined, so how the session is going on, everyone, please let me know on the chat. How is it going? Whether it is engaging, means the assignments and whatever. So you might think for someone who has already completed this HTML CSS part, maybe as per your own interest. So in that case, it may be a revision that you are doing, but and assignments, it may look simple. Yes, okay, but there you will understand the thing whenever that this 8 weeks internship program, it will proceed further. So from this week onwards, the assignments will get it will be difficult. Okay, so whatever we have, the session 3 is all about these Bootstrap, Material UI, and REST APIs and all. Okay, so once you have the basic understanding of REST API, then we will move forward to the backend implementation, like where we will learn to use Node.js. Okay, so once our Node.js that learning is complete, then we will create some APIs. Okay, that's why the REST API is very important here in this case. And after our API implementation is complete, there also we will learn about MongoDB and all. Okay, so once that part is complete, then we will come back then we will move forward to the React.js implementation. So then there we will learn about React.js, and apart from that we will learn about Redux. Then after our React.js basic part is complete, then we will develop certain UI components or a web application we will develop using React. So then after that we will integrate both our APIs that we will create from Node.js, and then we will integrate them, and we will use those APIs in our React application, right? So this is how the whole full stack works like. So we will develop our backend, we will write our business logic and all there on these we will implement all our APIs. So whatever applications we are going to give you, so this week onwards only we will distribute the projects, means whatever we are doing right now, there you can say that this is a little bit of just a warm-up session for all of you. Okay, so it is something like that, because this is only simple HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap I'm asking, right? So simple resume or weather application. But so whoever, so you have submitted the assignment to, that is a weather application UI. Have you made the submission? Yes. Okay, great. Yes. So I want to see everyone who is typing, because what happens, whatever you are typing here, so at the end of this session I download, so from that I take the input, so whoever has submitted, and then we are, as you already know, that we are always we are grading whatever your every activity. Say you are doing a social media post, that one also we are grading. So how many posts you are doing per week, that one also we are grading. Okay, say some of you are doing the 50 days of coding, that activity is some of you are doing that, but I would say only very few. Okay, so again we are noting those things down. So who is doing more social media posts, how many posts we have made in a week. Okay, so that kind of grading we are doing. Okay, so that is only for you to understand the importance of such activity. Okay, so say again I will ask the same question, that you are doing the social media post, right? So in that social media post, is your profile view increased? More people visiting your profile, they are saying yes, right? Yes. So more people visiting and interacting. Even I am also visiting your profile. I'm checking what are the details, what is there. And I have in the career growth section, that part, I think in the career growth channel in Discord, I have mentioned a few tips for all of you, right? So have you seen it? What are the tips to increase? What are the tips what are the tweaks or tunes that you can do to your LinkedIn profile? Have you seen it? In the career guideline section, there I have mentioned about it. Okay, so if you haven't got through it, so you can go through it. There are a few basic tips, like how you should update your title, description, summary, you should have a decent profile photo, and then you should set a cover image that you can design in Canva. Okay, so like that kind of activity that we did, whatever activity we did in the last week, so it is all leading to one goal. So where we will have a flagship project, we will have a very good project at the end of this 8-week session. Then after that, you will have something to showcase to the world. So we will have someone such a, we will develop one application, okay, which you can share in your interviews. So whatever application we will develop, we will deploy that in cloud servers. Once that version is ready, then if you go to an interview or some place, there we will be able to showcase that application. Yes, I have developed this one. Okay, so believe me, whenever you will showcase that application to someone who is interviewing you, so that whole perspective of the interview will change. Okay, it will always go around the application that you have built. Say you have built a Twitter clone. Okay, so the whole conversation will be around your application only. Maybe the interviewer will forget whatever question he or she has planned for you to ask. They will only ask question about those things. Okay, so that's why it is very important. So again, every one of you's active participation is always necessary, because this is the thing that motivates me also, that yes, I am doing, I can motivate, and I can so sorry, yes, someone else is still joining. Okay, so your participation is the key here. Okay, so I know you all of you are participating it's frequently and regularly in the past week classes we have joined, and this classes also I can see there are 45 participants, though some dropouts are here also. But you can spread the word to your friends or whoever has signed up or enrolled for this internship program, and still if they are not participating, or they are not doing the activity that we are supposed to do, then it is only they have got the chance, and we have given chance to them. Okay, and they are not utilizing it properly. Okay, this is the thing, that a message that you can pass to your friends, or your college friends. It may be your, if you are working somewhere, it may be your colleague. Okay, so this is a message that I would like everyone to pass your friends. Okay, fine. Then whoever is taking challenges in 50 days of coding, that also we are taking a note. Okay, that is the added advantage, or will give some added marks for them. Third, the weekly assignments that we have given. So who have not completed yet, okay, you can be fair, you can come to me and you can say, I will complete it by today or tomorrow. That is also fine. So be honest. So if you have not completed, you can type here on the chat. Then I will take a note from here. So I will give you 2 days of times. Okay. So what we are doing. So whatever submissions you have made, we are going to those websites or whatever wherever you have deployed. If you have not deployed, then we are downloading that code from, means our coaches are doing that. They are downloading your source code. They are checking in your local system. Okay, and some one interesting thing that I have seen, there's some of you are even copying this code. So someone did something and another person is simply just copying. They just copied the design. Everything is same, background image, color, font, everything is same, and just change these few cities name on the few text only they changed, and they submitted. So this is not a college project, right? This is for your career, in your improvement. Okay, so I am asking you to submit this assignment is for your own good. It is not something which will help me, or I will get money, or I will get some benefit from out of it, right? So this is not like this whether application is not there, I am just asking you to create an application for me. So it is for your sake only. So you do it, do invest some time for the assignment, you complete it and you submit. So be authentic about whatever code or whatever contribution you are making, whatever work you are doing. So be authentic about it, be honest about it, right? So we are downloading everyone's code. So I will another thing that I would like to ask to all of you, that is whenever you are sharing the link of your LinkedIn page or something, or whenever you even do a LinkedIn post, you can do one extra thing, that is that you take a screenshot of your application and you just paste it. And some of you are doing, even they are uploading videos, and that is great. Okay, they're just doing a screen share and they're just uploading it in a post. That is even that is great. Even if you cannot do that, you just take a screenshot of your application, you just add the screenshot in that LinkedIn post, and then you submit. Right? So these are the few basic things that I would like to ask. Second, so whoever has completed the first design phase of the weather application, so I have mentioned in today's Discord channel, so I have mentioned that you just go to open weather map. From there you do sign up. So whoever has signed up for an open weather map, have you visited open weather maps website? Okay, okay, great. Great, great. So, and I see there are only few, right? Only 10 has submit. Only 10 has gone through that website. Has went to the website. So I would request. Okay, visited but didn't sign up. That is fine. So you just go visit there, do sign up. It is free, absolutely free. You generate one API key and use that API key to. Again, someone is joining. Okay, so use that API key to make a API call to that server. And so I hope in everyone's application or everyone's weather application, there is an option called search, right? So you do implement that feature with search by city's name. So whatever you have to do is that, so whenever you will fill that city's name and submit the form. Okay, Sarah, I didn't understood how to implement it. Okay, fine, Mayank. So okay, so if you haven't understood, then I'll fine. I will explain. No issues. So there I will talk about REST API. So what is API and all that I will talk about today. Okay, fine. So don't sweat about it. So you just take a input or knowledge, whatever I will share. My knowledge I will share with all of you. So you do take some knowledge. Okay, and whatever I will say, you just take those inputs, and then you go to that website. And for to make an API call, you need to work with Jquery. So I will give a little bit of introduction to Jquery and what is it and how you can add Jquery to your project. And then I will talk about what is how you can use Ajax. So anyone, all of you know what is Ajax by the time? What is Ajax? What is Ajax, everyone? Just little bit. Okay, so Ajax is something, say you are on a web page, okay, and you want to update only a fraction of your web page. Say, how can I say? Okay, so asynchronous JavaScript. Ajax's full form is asynchronous JavaScript and XML, right? So if you want to update only a specific part of a web page, in that case, it is called Ajax. So say you are not refreshing the whole page and you are updating some specific elements of a web page. In that case, it is called Ajax. So sorry, it is not Ajax. So it is the technique that we used or we use normally to just update a fraction of our web page, so or a specific part of a web page. All right, so I think in this week I will give you the template, so where you will able to learn what is Ajax. So for that, jQuery is important, so I will come to that part. Okay, so another thing that is important is responsive web design. So I think you have gone through it in the last week, so I have given a brief introduction what is responsive design, what are grids, and what are the media queries and all, right? So you do take another note that whatever application or the way that application you have designed, you try to open it from a mobile phone and check whether that application is coming properly. Is there any text which is breaking or something like that? So so you check that part and you update your application, and you do share a screenshot from your mobile that yes, my application is mobile ready. Because as you can see nowadays, most of the applications that you will develop in your professional career, so say if it is a web application, so mostly it will be accessed from your mobile application, right? So sorry, from the mobile devices, right? So we normally use mobile devices for accessing a certain website. So we do Google search from our mobile most of the time whenever we are not on computer. So that's why it is important. So responsive design is a very important thing. Whenever you are designing any website, do consider all of the screen sizes, so that say you have to be prepared that my website can be accessed from multiple different devices, right? So this is a very important aspect. of this web design. So you do implement this responsive web design in case of your weather API or weather application also. So there are two things that you have to do, two action items. You can take a note for that. First thing is that you have to make your weather application responsive. Second thing that you have to make the search to work. Okay, so these are the two action points that you have to complete. So this is not something that I am saying this is this week's assignment. So this week's assignment will be mostly based on this week's assignment will be mostly based on the bootstrap and all. Okay, so bootstrap or material UI, what is the material design. So it will be mostly based on that part. Okay, but you will learn certain concepts about javascript, what are the basics of javascript, then some advanced javascript like how you can use jQuery and all. So that part you will learn, and then you can apply that on your weather application. Okay, so fine, I will not waste much time, so I will start today's session. So today I will start with Bootstrap. So I think last year also I have mentioned about Bootstrap. So how many of you have gone to that website and checked out what is Bootstrap? Have you checked whether what is Bootstrap? Okay. Okay, only very few. Why? I want everyone. If you have not visited, then you can confidently say no, I have not visited. That is also fine, because I have to know whether you have visited or not. If you have not visited, then I can guide you. Okay, only few years only. So I guess rest have not visited. Okay, fine. So what is Bootstrap? Can you explain in one single word or so? I would like to say, what is Bootstrap? What is your understanding of Bootstrap? Okay, so Miki, you are correct. It is a CSS framework. Not only CSS, it is CSS plus JS. Or you can understand, you can say it is a, yes, some of you are saying front-end framework. Yes, it is correct. It is a CSS plus JS framework. That is that what a framework say they have defined certain class names in CSS which you can use in your HTML. So if you have added Bootstrap to your project, and if you would use those class names, specific class names that they have given, that will help you to that will help you to that will help you to get the specific styles in your web application, right? So how many of you have downloaded and tried Bootstrap? Have you tried to add Bootstrap to your project? Yes. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine. So this week's learning path, so I've given that you will start with Bootstrap, and then later on you will use different things. So first I will come to the layouts. So what is Bootstrap layout? Okay, so Bootstrap's layout has few key elements. The first part is the grid system. Like the last week, I have shown all of you that what is Bootstrap grid, right? Not Bootstrap grid. I have shared. I have given little input about what are the grids. Okay, so how a whole web page is divided in 12 different columns, and how those columns are constructing the whole grid system, right? So Bootstrap grid system is built using Flexbox. Okay, and we normally use grid in day-to-day web development to build complex layouts, simple layouts, different types of shapes and sizes of components. So in that case, in all of these cases, we use grids. Okay. Second part is the containers. Containers is important because containers it contains the padding. It aligns your content within a given viewport. Okay. Say I am in a very wide screen. In this example, you are on a big monitor, and so how your website will look like. So whether that content will spread across these total width, or it will stay on center and it will leave some spaces on two of those sides. In that case, containers becomes helpful. So it helps us to align or add some meaningful padding to our content. Okay, and keeps that content, whatever content or web elements we have, so that it keep that content, so meaningful content in the proper viewport. Okay, that is when the containers are useful. Third thing is the breakpoints. Breakpoints is important because these are breakpoints are customizable widths that determine how your responsive layout behaves across devices or viewports in size in Bootstrap, right? So what is breakpoint? So let me give a quick example. Say you have two cards on two sides. Okay, so now you have defined a breakpoint. Say if your device's width is less than 480 pixel, in that sense this card will go down. So that those 480 pixel is that 480 pixel is a breakpoint. So above that, say maybe there are three cards for it on a tab device. Okay, so in that case, if you are on a tab device, you say my breakpoint is 768 pixel. So anything below 768 pixel, so one card will go down. So there will stay only two card, one card will go down, something like that. So you can determine there. So you can also determine, say, if my screen's width is more than say 990 pixel, in that case, I will show four cards here on the UI. So these are called breakpoints. It means where you are breaking, you are taking the different device sizes in your consideration, and then you are just realigning your whatever UI elements you have. You are realigning those things to give a better fit, and so how that elements will look like in your viewport. So this is something which is called breakpoints, right? So I will just show you another example. So whether just confirm me once on the chat whether this screen is visible. Can you see the Bootstrap screen? This Bootstrap's website, is it visible? Yes. Okay, great. So I will go to the breakpoints section. Where is breakpoints? Layout, breakpoints. Okay, so what are the available breakpoints? Here you can see anything which is less than 760 pixel, that is a very small device. Okay, so this text, you mark these words SM, MD, LG, XL, and XXL. Okay, so anything which is greater than 768 pixel and less than 760, sorry, is greater than 576 pixel and less than 768 pixel, that is considered as a small device. Okay, so similarly the medium devices, large devices, extra large, and extra large, extra large, that kind of devices, they have defined it here. Okay, so how these big so what they did is that using these dimensions, these screen sizes, they have defined the media queries. Okay, so what is media query? I have said in last session, what is media query? What is media query, guys? Anyone? What is media query? Take some time to type, give the answer. Why media query is used? Okay, that's okay. So Ronit is saying helps in making responsive designs. That is not a complete answer, Ronit. So let it be more specific. So give us more specific, more or okay, scaling, no. Adjusting the width according to the user, no, it is not. Helps to define specific CSS for specific screen size, also making the web page responsive. Yes, this is a very correct answer. So it helps us to define specific CSS for specific or different screen sizes. Okay, like whatever we have done here. Say they have included these breakpoints. So as you can see, this is a media query. So min width is 576. There inside that they are writing. So even they have mentioned in comments. Okay, say small devices, landscape phones, 576 pixels and up. Medium devices, that means tablets, 768 pixels and up. Okay, large devices like desktop. Okay, extra large devices like extra large desktop, and something like that. So this is why the media queries or the breakpoints are important. Now, once we have the breakpoint, now we have containers. So what is containers? So I will give an example. So if they have here one, okay. So here you can see responsive containers. So container SM means what a container for small device size, a container for medium device size. So what will happen? So it will take 100% width until it reaches the medium breakpoint. Medium breakpoint means whatever breakpoint we have learned in the previous screen. So here they have given one table and what are the breakpoints and what are the availability of these containers. Okay. So similarly for grid system, so grid is something which consists how many columns our grid system have? How many columns, guys? How many columns our grid system have? 12. Okay, great. So how those 12 columns how we will organize that? That is something which is called the grid system. Remember, every so we can gather multiple columns together by using a row. This is a simple principle of a table, or you can say, so inside one row we can have multiple columns. We can have max 12 columns. So minimum one column, maximum 12 column we can have, right? So here, as you have seen in you can see in this screen, so there I have one row, and inside one row I'm saying this, so I have three columns. So in that case I'm not specifying anything, say this column will be of size 2, this column will be of size 6, and this one will be 4. So I have just only defined a call only. That's why it is taking the equal width. Okay, so this is why the CSS flexbox comes into the picture. So they have in Bootstrap 4 or Bootstrap 5. So from Bootstrap 4 onwards, they have redesigned or redeveloped their whole system, and they have moved to the flexbox to generate such containers. Okay, so yes, so you can see there are different types of examples are there. You have to go through them one by one, and the codes that I have shared with all of you, that codes also has that that part, say, where you can they will also give a brief understanding of how Bootstrap works. Okay, so then there are columns is something which you already know. So columns, which is a key components inside the grid system, right? So these are the key elements that I have taken from this layout system. First is the grid, second is the containers, and third part is the breakpoints, right? Second part is the content. So whenever you will have some text content or media content like images, forms, and cards and all, so in that case, so what are the different type of content? So I have only taken a few key elements from here. So first there is a typography. Typography means is something, anyone knows what is typography? It is something basic thing, not it is not something which is related to Bootstrap only. So what is typography? Anyone knows? Type, yes, it is related to the fonts, means how the text contained in our web page, how it will look like. Okay, so tables is something which is, you know, right? It is tables. So so as you have seen, so if you have created table in using the HTML only, so normally it's naked, right? So there is no border, there is no space around the different cells and all. But if you use that Bootstrap table, in that case, you will by default you will get some style for the headers. You will get different styles for the rows and columns and all, right? Images is something where, in that case, in Bootstrap there is an option called responsive image. Say whenever you are adding image to your web application, but is that image responsive? So say there's images with this 1000 pixel. Now let's assume that you open that image in mobile device, so whether that image will open properly or not. In that case, Bootstrap's image, there are some specific classes that they have given, like a responsive image, so that those things becomes helpful whenever you're working with images. So the fourth thing is very important. So whenever you're working with forms, so now you will want nice looking forms, like whether your label is on the top, and then you have say, I will again go back to the Bootstrap content, okay, inside forms overview. So you will have such a nice looking form, whether you have the label on the top, and then you will have the fields. Then you can also add some helpful meta information here, and then you have proper nice looking buttons and all, right? So this is why the forms is important here. As you will see that they have place this label, form label on the left hand side. Like that also you can do, right? So this is all about forms. Then there are a few other most used Bootstrap components. So what I have mentioned, I have named them one by one. The first thing which is important is accordion. So anyone knows what is accordion? Can we do form validation with Bootstrap? No, Bootstrap, Abhishekta. So what you can do is form validation is something which you have to write in your pure JavaScript only. And what you can do is you can show some styles properly using the Bootstrap. Like you say on the fields and the bottom, you have seen there are some text messages, right? So that messages you can give some styles to it using Bootstrap. So that part you can do with Bootstrap. But the validation part, say where you will have, say you have a text field, say you have an email field. So okay, whether the emails input is proper or not. In that case, you have to write some regular expressions, right? So that regular expression has to be on your custom JS file. So there only you have to write the validations. Okay, so right, clear? Is it clear now? Okay, great. So anyone knows what is accordion? Accordion? Anybody knows what is accordion? Not sliding picks. Accordion is not sliding picks. Okay, so let's see what is accordion. Accordion is something which is called collapsible. You have seen in many websites. Is this one? This thing is called accordion. Okay, so then after accordion, there is buttons is something that you already know. So I will go to this section one. So there you have different types of styles, like this is a primary button, this is a secondary button, this is a success and danger button, warning button, info button. So these are the different color options that they have added for button. And not only that, they have given sizes also. Okay, there are some outline buttons are there, right? And there are different size of buttons are there, large button, small one, disabled ones. So these are the few basic classes. So you have only this button HTML element, then you have this button btn and btn prime. This is the two simple CSS classes that they have added here, and you can see that you are getting a proper style here, right? So button is important. Then third part is a card. Card is a very key element when the material design came into the picture. So what is material design and what is material UI? I will come to that part later on in today's session only. So this is something which is card. So it can be, you have seen, right, in LinkedIn also you see the connections. So there you will see these kind of cards, right? So this is a very important, or you would say, I would say that this is a very most used UI element nowadays. Then there is carousel. So what is carousel? Carousel is something which someone just said, the image slider. Okay, so this is something which is called carousel. So as you can see, it slides from one direction to another. So normally you can have text, or you can also add some image files also here. Okay, there are certain other CSS that are associated with it, like you can add some indicators of which slide is active or something like that. Okay, so then after carousel, there are options like drop down. So why drop downs are important? Drop downs means, so you can see there is a drop down button or something like that. So this is something. So you can use, say there you have a user option right on the navbar, on the main navbar. Then after that, you can, once someone clicks the drop down option, then then you can show certain other menu options like logout link. Then you can show my account or something like that, right? So there are some disturbances outside, so I cannot do anything about it. Just stay with me. Okay, so after that, next I will talk about modal. So anyone knows what is modal? Anyone? What is modal? Modal is, yes, we can say it's a pop-up, or I would say it's a dialogue. Okay, or a dialogue that you can take, or you can also show some form also there in the model, or you can show some meaningful information there inside a model. So how it looks like, it looks like something like this. It's not okay, this one, it looks like something like this. So here you can show some meaningful information, or you can show, if you want, if you can show some form element here, right? What is the difference between accordion and drop down? Okay, so accordion is something which is, accordion is something which you can see this kind of, it is collapsible UI element, you can say. Okay, so these are all grouped together. So if you open this one, the second one is getting closed automatically. If you open the third one, the second one is closed. If you open the second one, the all other open items are closed. And drop down is something which you can utilize using the in the button. So these are all, these are not buttons, these are all different type of UI elements that they have taken here. So drop down is something which mostly you will have on your buttons only. Okay, okay, then after nav, okay, model, there is a navbar option. So navbar means the navigation option, like Bootstrap has a navigation option here. So they have some certain links here on the left hand side. On the right hand side, they have taken a links of their GitHub, their Twitter, Slack, and all. Okay, so yes, yours is correct. Yep, accordion is mostly used in FAQ section. That is one example where accordion is mostly used. Okay, second thing is important, which is pagination. So they have given some ready-made UI for all pagination. Pagination is required whenever you have hundreds of items to list. See that you have a table where there are maybe 1 million record on your database, but you will not be so you will not be able to pull that kind of data from database and show it here on a single table, right? In that case, pagination is required. So this is why the this Bootstrap, they are giving the pagination UI. Okay, I think this is the CSS only. There is no JavaScript related to JavaScript involved with this one. This is a simple one. Okay, then there is some progress element. So we all like nice progress bar. Like progress bar is something which we like to add normally to our web applications. In that case, we can add progress bar only. So this is a CSS only, right? So we can also show the progress percentage here on the labels. This is progress bar. Then there is a toast. Toast is something, say you can show some message there on the, say on the right hand side, you want to show some message. Okay, say someone is submitting a form in your application, and you just showed one toast that yes, your submission is successful. Okay, this is the toast message. And how this, so I will show one example. Say here on the left, on the bottom half, you see this is the toast that is coming. You can also close this one. Okay, so normally toast is something which was there previously on the on the iPhone, Android devices, like the notifications that you see inside applications, those are called toast. Okay, this is something Bootstrap bought here on the web also. So they are now just, this is something which is only notification, they just named it as toast. Then the fifth option, which is very important, or the last option I would like to mention, is a tooltip. Tooltip is something which is one of the most used UI elements. So say a tooltip is something where you can show some additional information about a UI element. So they have given an example for a button only. You can use tooltips in multiple different other web elements also. Say you have a password form, right? So whenever someone goes to that password form, then in the tooltip you can show, say this password should have 8 characters, should have been 8 characters, there should have an uppercase and there should have a lowercase letter or something like that. This is the meaning, this is a kind of information that we can show in a tooltip. All right, these are the all elements that I have taken. So this I think these are useful, that's why I've just added them here. Okay, fine. So once this part is done, next I will talk about the material design. Anyone has any idea of what is material design? What is material design? Have you ever heard about material design? Have you ever heard of material design? No. Okay, no idea. Okay, fine. So material design is something which is a design system. Now, what is a design system? Design system is something you can say, so how our elements will look like. So whatever components we have on our web page, so how those elements looks like, that is something which is called a design system. So inside design system, there is a layout, there are different color schemes, there are different interaction schemes. So how you will interact with those UI elements, this is called a design system. Okay, this is a very I would say it is not a very beginner level of topic, but this is something which you should be aware about. That's why I have taken a reference. So I have added this material design in my slide. So anyone knows who came up with the idea of material design? Yes, yes, you are correct. So Google first came up with the idea of material design. So anyone knows when they have come up with the idea of material design? When? Okay, so when means today, which Android version is more the current one or the latest one is Android 12, I guess, right? Is it Android 12 or 11? I think 12, right? Yes. So they came up with the idea of material design in back in 2014 or 15, whenever there was Android Lollipop. I think you have anyone used Android Lollipop? I have used it. Okay. So okay. So before that, there used to be Android KitKat version, right? So after KitKat, they have updated to Android Lollipop. So whenever the Lollipop came UI, that kind of UI came, that was a whole different user experience and UI that came. So the difference is so vast. So the phones immediately looked, I mean, it is a way ahead. So it is coming from future. Okay, whatever software was there. So if you can see in YouTube, there are, if you can see the videos of Android KitKat, then you will find the difference straight away. Okay, and I was excited about it. I rooted my that time I had a Motorola device. I rooted my device and I downloaded that software, the piece of software for Android Lollipop from XDA forum. So I installed it on my phone manually. Okay, so I tried that thing. Then in the year, I think 2015 or 16, probably 14 or 15 or something like that. Okay, so what is material design? Material design is something is saying, say, it is a design that is created by Google. It helps to build high quality digital experience across Android. Nowadays, material design is supported by iOS also, and Wave is another important platform that supports material design. There are several different libraries that are available with material design. So material design this is the key part. So material design is inspired by the physical world. Say you have a piece of what I would say. So you have seen the cardboard, right? So if you keep that a piece of square cardboard on a table, and if you place a light source on one corner, so how the shadows will reflect on different sides. That is something they are calling material. They're using the real world material, and how the light source interact with that material, how that cast shadow, how they reflect shadow. This is something they are calling material, and the whole design. Okay, so if it would have been a physical session, then I could have shown you how these reflections and cast, that part is working. But here I cannot show you. So imagine the surfaces where there is a light source and there is a piece of paper or piece of cardboard, a square cardboard that you have placed on a table, and you have a light source on at one corner, and how that shadow will come in the bottom half or the right half of that element. So that whole thing is something which is called a material design, or this is the inspiration for creating material design to Google. Okay, so like nowadays you see the card design, right? So I would show you, just let me refresh. Okay, so can you see this? Can you see my phone? So here, you see this kind of cards are here, right? There are different cards. So every card has an image, and then there is a title. Then there are some interactions options. These are the something which Google came with this kind of idea or this kind of design system. Okay, so there should have been some interactions that people can do, and those interaction elements, it should be clearly visible or clearly accessible to the user. This is something material design is all about. Okay, so principles of material design layout. So there are three principles. First thing is predictable. So whenever say you are you are using a mobile application. So mobile applications, most of the applications, they are now using a material design. Okay, so you are on a material design used application. So there, if you visit that application, so you can understand, so what would be the next step, how those UI elements will come. Okay, like you have so if you open Gmail, there you will get a button here on the bottom right corner, right? So to add a new compose a new email. That's why it has to be predictable. Second thing, it has to be consistent. So whatever layouts or grids you will use, or the paddings you will use in your application, that has to be consistent. Okay, so that has to be consistent throughout the application. So whatever cards you will design, say I'm just taking another example. So say you have different shapes of card, but every card should have a similar kind of a shadow. Okay, so normally cards has shadows, right? So those cards has to be, so there has to be similar shadows to all cards. This is something the consistency comes. Okay, and third part, which is obvious, that is responsive. So layouts has to be responsive, so that that layout can adapt to multiple different devices, so or different screen sizes, right? These are the three key principles for material designs layout system. It has to be predictable, it has to be consistent, and it has to be responsive. Okay, second, in case of color system, so what this color system means, so whatever color you will use, so there you can use only two colors. One is a primary color, and another is a secondary color. So for example, take example of Facebook, right? So Facebook, they are using one primary color. What is that? What is the primary color for Facebook? It is blue, right? So there is some secondary color. It may be a gray color or something like they are using, but their primary color is blue, right? Similarly for Twitter, it is a sky blue, right? They are using a sky blue color. So Google is saying that you can use two different color. One is a primary color which you can use normally, and there you can take another color which is a secondary color. Okay, so there can be other colors too, but that are related to different other components. Like for text, you can use two different colors. One is a primary text that is written in deep black, or you can say a little bit subtle black, and you can say there is a secondary text color which maybe you can use in gray color or something like that. So there are two types of color that you can have in your application. Okay, then second thing is the what are the principles here? The color has to be hierarchical, means whatever elements you are using in your application, and if you are giving colors to them, it has to be hierarchical. So I will give one example of hierarchical color. So say you have two different shades of color. Okay, let me go to one website. There maybe I'll be able to show you one proper example. Okay, so just a minute. In Google Maps, I guess. I think they have changed the UI. Otherwise, I will show you one example of what is they are calling hierarchical UI. Say this one, for this two, they is assume these are the two navigation options. So here, what is hierarchical color is meaning that in that this top part will be of deeper color than this second half. Okay, that is mean something which is hierarchical. Okay, second example is the legible. So text formats and icons, whatever you are using, that has to be that has to be properly visible to the user. Okay, the colors has to be legitimate, whatever color you are using there in your application. Okay, and whatever backgrounds you are using, so that has to be compatible with the foreground text and images. Okay, and third part, the color has to be expressive, means whatever brand or application that you are going to build, so that has to represent the brand. Like say whatever UI elements Facebook has, say they have blue Navbar. Previously, they had a blue Navbar, right? Because Facebook's logo has the blue color. That's why they have used those blue Navbar here on their whole UI. Okay, so something like that. So your brand colors should be something which is should be more visible on your color design color system. Okay, Then there are two popular libraries are there available. One is the Materialized CSS. This is a proper alternative of Bootstrap. You can also use Bootstrap or this Material UI in your application. So normally in our company at Geogo, we are using Materialized CSS a lot if you compare it with Bootstrap also. Okay, and the second thing is a materialui.com. So this is one library which is there. If whenever you will learn about React, there we will use this Material UI library. Okay, so these two different libraries are very popular, and this is the even more popular nowadays because most of the front-end projects are getting developed using whether it is in React.js or Vue.js, and this library is very helpful. Their components are very rich, means they have a very strong library of components. The list is very long, so whatever every kind of UI elements you will get here. So these are the two libraries are available. So anyone has any question around material design, you can ask me. Next I will move forward to the next topic. Anyone has any question here on material design? So normally you can do one thing. So if you want to try out material design, so you can alternatively you can use material design, materializedcss.com in your project. Okay, as we are only building this HTML CSS based web application, here you can use this materialized CSS. Okay, so this material design part is ready. Then there is jQuery. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Yes. Sorry, my internet I think something is wrong with my internet. So okay, so I will share my screen again. Okay. So is the screen visible? Screen is visible, right? Okay, great. So now I will go to the jQuery website. So where you have missed, I think from jQuery, I think I dropped out. I couldn't understood when I dropped out. So, okay, fine. So jQuery is a feature-rich library. That is a JavaScript library that we normally use to add JavaScript to our application. So before, there are frameworks like React or Vue or Angular. There was jQuery, means there is jQuery right now. So if you are working on an application that is only HTML, CSS is there. There is no front-end framework. They can straight cut. You can add jQuery to your project. Okay, so they give certain advantages. Say you have worked with document selectors, right? So how you would select one element with which is such as ID on HTML? How you would select that element on JavaScript? How you would select that element on JavaScript? Yes, get elemented by ID, right? So get element by ID is something which we will use in your JavaScript to select some certain element from HTML, right? So here they have simplified it with simple use of dollar. Dollar is something which you can use to denote that you are using jQuery, and then you can use the document selector, something like this. So here inside this single brace, you can add the different type of document that you can add. So here you can also add the class element like with dot. So they're identifying the button with dot with the class name of continue. Similarly, you can use hash continue if the element has a hash of continue, something like that. This is how the jQuery works. Okay, there's DOM selectors work, or the document object model selectors work. And this is something, say I was talking about the Ajax. So how you will make an Ajax call? So again, with dollar, you are saying you are working with jQuery, and then their jQuery, they have a Ajax method where you have to pass the URL. So in case of your weather application, you can pass the weather of your sorry, the endpoint for the open with the map. Then inside data you can pass the city's name or something like that. And then after that there is some certain callbacks are there, like a success. What will happen if there is success? What will happen if the weather information comes properly? Then here you can, what you can do is that you can replace some certain text, like so you will replace the city's weather, right? So this is something how we will work it with like that. So dollar is the selector. Then here you can see they are using this hash document selector for to select one specific element, and they can replace that elements result from him. So this is a very basic example. And if you go to their API documentation, they have a very vast documentation of how you can use, what are the different things that there. So there are forms, so you can use the, so Abhishekta, you're asking about the form validation. So jQuery has some form validation technique which you can use, okay, in your application. Okay, so this is a very long documentation, and there are certain core features that are there in the API, so you can go and try. So you have to go and read their documentation. And apart from that, the course that I have given, I think they will cover this API documentation or the jQuery part. So once you will complete that part, then you will be able to integrate the Open Weather Map API to your weather application. Fine. So this is all about jQuery. So next I will talk about REST API. What is REST API? Anybody has any idea what is REST API? Anyone has any idea what is REST API? REST API, what is REST API? Anyone? Okay, so what is API? So you may not know what is REST API because this is a pretty new topic to all of you. So maybe you have worked with REST API or some sort of API at some point of time in your development, whatever development you did. But what is API? Anybody knows what is the full form of API? Okay, okay. Srikar is saying it is application program interface, not program, application programming interface. Yes. Okay. So what is API in simple terms? API is something which I am saying it is about the connecting the dots. What kind of dots I'm connecting? So now in this modern world, you can understand that everything is connected. Like uh, you are walking on road, you are getting updated, so you can see how many steps you are walking in your smartwatch. So this is not a smartwatch. So if you have a smartwatch, there you can see how many steps you are walking there. That information is getting synced to some sort of web account, right? So if you have a Google Feed installed in your application, so that smartwatch is talking to your mobile's Google Feed, right? So two different applications are connecting there. So it's all about connecting the dots. What are these dots means? These applications can be here and there. They can connect multiple devices, multiple applications together. Okay, this is API is something is about connecting the dots. Okay, it is not about front end and back end. This is not an example that I would like to say. It is about how these applications are communicating with each other. Okay, this is something which is called the API. This is in simple terms. Okay, so it allows us to order our favorite food from Zomato. Then it allows us to make hotel reservations or flight ticket reservations or your train ticket reservation at IRCTC. So this is the role of API. So any other example anyone can take? This allows us to order our favorite food. They order us to allows our favorite mobile phone. Okay, it allows us to order our favorite dress from our mobile phone. Okay, and the same information is shared from the web portal also. Okay, any other example anyone would like to take? Weather API. Yes, of course, this is the correct another answer. Weather information is there to the weather service providers, and then you are showing that information to your websites. Like, what kind of name is this? Phrase juices. Okay, then map API. Yes, Google Map is something they are providing APIs because we can integrate Google Maps to our web applications, right? Like whenever you are using Uber, there you see one map, right? So that map service is provided by Google, right? So similarly, map is another example. Anyone else? Location-based services. What kind of location? Please explain it a bit. What kind of location you are saying? Discord or Twitter bots. Yes, this is one example, proper example. Okay, Saying Webrtc for video calling. Okay, okay. Webrtc for video calling is something. Okay, so someone has raised a hand. Okay, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. Okay. If you have a question, then you can ask. Okay, fine. Any other example? Anyone? You can check your mobile phone and check what kind of applications you have installed on your mobile phone, and then you can say, you can answer. Anyone? The photos you are taking from a mobile phone, that photos is available in Google Photos, right? The files you are uploading from your mobile phone, that files is available in Google Drive, right? These are also examples of API. So how those two different devices are connecting with each other, that is something API. Okay, so you can, I would give another example of a restaurant. Okay, say I have visited one restaurant. Fine. So there I have properly so I have visited the restaurant. So I'm sitting on a chair and I have the menu card, right? And there is at the other end there is a kitchen, right? Kitchen has all kind of supplies which they can use to prepare some food, right? So the thing is that I want to eat some food and kitchen wants to prepare some food. So in that case, what is the missing link here? I want to eat the food, kitchen want to prepare the food. So what is the missing link? Service. Okay, yes, Shomik is correct. The missing link is the waiter, because waiter is someone who will carry my information. So they will come to me, they will take my order and they will transfer the information to the kitchen, right? The kitchen will produce the food, they, means they will prepare the food, they will nicely decorate it in a proper manner, and then waiter will go to that kitchen and they will deliver the food, or that person will deliver the food to my table, right? So waiter is someone who is carrying the information or who is carrying the food. So in that case, waiter is our API. Okay, that means there are two different systems and they are connecting with each other. Okay. Yeah. So Abhishek is saying nowadays many restaurants are making some kind of applications which will take order. Fine. So, but Abhishek, how that even that application is working? Remember, so if you even have a say there is no waiter, there is a tablet or they have given on your table and there is a kitchen, right? So you're selecting items, you do place an order here on your tablet, and on the kitchen they have a large screen, so they have a monitor there, they can see the order. So now again you think how these two different devices are connected. Again the API will come here to the picture, right? So what is API? API is something which is application programming interface, interface for applications to communicate with each other. Now, okay, okay, so I have given another text here. So an API is a RPC mechanism. What is RPC? Anyone knows? RPC. What is RPC mechanism? Okay, probably we don't know. So RPC is something. Okay, so I will share one another slide. Just a minute. Okay. So before RPC, I think my screen is visible, right? My screen is visible. This slide of mine is visible. Okay. So before RPC, there was LPC, or the local procedure of call. So say this is a simple example, JavaScript example, right? So here you have a function that is written called hello world. There it returns a simple string called hello world. And here on this line, you can see it. I'm just making a call to this function, and I'm just printing out this text, whatever it is returning, right? So now say understand. So this function is this blue block, and what from where I'm calling is the this from so this let x is equal to hello world, from where I'm initiating is this one. So whenever I'm initiating this one, I'm creating one process here on memory. Okay, and this process is making a call to another process. Say this one, say hello world is a function which is written here. So I'm making a call to this one, right? And in that case, it is giving me back one response. So it is giving me back one response, right? Understood? This is called a local procedure call. Now let's understand the remote procedure call. What is that? Say my function is written here. Okay, my function is written here on this slide, sorry, on this system. Okay, and so this is on the remote server, or this is on another computer, assume. And and from this computer I'm making a call to this function. Okay, so how that call will happen, whether it has to go through some sort of network, right? Either I have to connect those two machines using a LAN cable, or it may be possible that I would connect them to some wireless system. So I am making a function call. So I am making a call to a function which is not there on my local system, and I'm just calling it to a certain server. So in that case, the server returns the response. This is something which is called a RPC mechanism, or a remote procedure call. Okay, so again, so I will come back to my slide. So you understood RPC? So I'm saying that the API is a RPC mechanism, or a remote procedure call. Fine. So what is happening whenever you are, say, you are asking for your bank balance, or from your mobile application, right? That means the bank balance is not present on your mobile device, right? It is present on the bank's server. So from here, you are asking the bank to give the information, or give the account balance back to you, right? So that is means you are making a remote call, right? So the API is a RPC mechanism. And what is REST? What is, why I'm calling it is a REST API? REST API is something which is called representational state transfer. Okay, so what is representational state? So let's assume with another example. Say our account has certain properties, right? My account has an account, my name, account holder name, account has account number, and third, account has account balance, right? So when that information is getting transferred from bank's database to my mobile phone, that means the state is getting transferred from one device to another. So in that case, you can assume it as a representational state. So representational state of an account is getting transferred through the network. That is something which I am calling REST. Is means the representational state transfer. And when I would combine these two, so I would say REST API. So REST API, what again, another term that I would like to give. What is REST? REST is something which is a design pattern. Okay, so REST is something which is a guideline that is being created by the community to standardize these APIs. So say there are hundreds of different companies who are building APIs. Now assume if there is no standardization, so everyone will define their API at their own way. So to make it more formal, to make it more organized, the community has came up with the idea of REST. So it was first introduced in the year 2000, and then after JSON came into picture in 2000, I think 14 or 15. So after that, they combined both of them. They came up with the idea of REST API. So next I will talk about why REST. Okay, why REST? Because it has some sort of design principle. That's what I said. So these comes with some sort of design guidelines. So you will learn more about design guidelines and what is there, what are the rules are there for REST API. You will learn about them. Second thing is, and it has some best practices for building, managing, and monitoring REST APIs. Okay, so third is that it is compatible with any data format. Say your API, so whatever you will develop in future, you can give response in JSON. Okay, so I think you are aware about JSON. So you know about JSON. Who has heard about JSON? What is JSON? What is full form? If you have ever seen JSON, that is also fine. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, so have you ever seen what is JSON, how it looks like? Because whatever API you will create mostly, it will be in JSON only. Guys, please respond on chat. I'm waiting for your response. So have you ever seen JSON, or have you ever interacted with JSON? Okay, so it contains info and about libraries included. Okay, yes, no idea. Fine, no idea is even better because there is a lot to learn. Okay. Okay, so then I will talk about more about JSON in future sessions also. That is fine. The fourth thing is that REST is simple and flexible. So that's what I'm saying is that it comes with some sort of design principles or guidelines, but it does not restrict you there. You can also have your customization options there. Okay, and the fifth part is that JSON is simple. So here I am saying it is compatible with any data format, and JSON is something which is most used. But I am saying JSON is simple. It is meant for human consumption. So if you check a API response, say, I think you have seen the open weather map, right? Open weather map is there for which I have asked you to check the details for integrating with your application. So that API gives response back in JSON. So let's go to open weather map. Okay, it is opening now. Now they have a one API called get cities weather by name. Okay, so how you can get that? So I will call that API from my browser. Okay, so they are giving some sort of response where they are saying invalid API key. Please check our API documentation or something like that. So here I will pass city's name is Kolkata. So this is where I am right now, and they are asking for one API key. Okay, so I will give my API key. I have an account here already. I have account in open with the map. So I have API keys. So don't copy my API key. Though it is free, you can use, no issue. Okay, so there you can see some sort of data is coming. So this is something which is coming in JSON format. So JSON is properly human readable. So there is there is a root element, right? If I can expand and collapse in my browser. So there inside that I am getting certain coordinates. So I'm searching for city Kolkata. So it is saying at which coordinate this city belongs. Then there are some sort of weather information is there. Then the your primary focus should be on this main part where they are saying this is the temperature and this is the feels like minimum temperature, maximum temperature, pressure, humidity and all. Okay, but you can see these units are something different. So let's try with units is equal to metric. Yes, so if I would give units equals metrics, now you'll get something like min temperature, max temperature and all. Okay, pressure, humidity and all you will get. This is something a JSON. This is something how a JSON data looks like. This is the simple JavaScript object, or this is something you can relate to, I guess. Okay, so again I will come back to my presentation. So why REST? It gives a common set of design principles. It gives some sort of best practices. It is compatible with any data format. It is simple and flexible. JSON is simple and it is meant for human consumption. It is a human readable format. Okay, so now this is something I think it is a little bit of advanced topic. So endpoints are else something I think I will come back to this thing in future. Okay, so using REST, we can perform certain operations on our resources. Say I have taken an example of bank account. So say in your database you have an account table, right? So there are 4 operations that you can carry on your, or you can perform on your account, right? You can perform a create account operation, then you can perform a read account operation, then you can update certain details like you are updating the account balance that you can do, then you can also delete their account, right? These are the 4 operations that you can perform. Means these are 4 default operations that you can perform on your account. So that is something which is called operations. These are all operations, and as a whole these 4 they call CRUD. So I am taking CRUD from here and I'm saying this is the CRUD. Okay, so to create one account I have to make a HTTP post request. To retrieve one account I have to make a HTTP get request. To update an account I have to make HTTP put request, and to delete on one account I have to make a HTTP delete request. So there would be some certain other details also. So this is something which is, I think, a little bit advanced topic for you right now. If you do not understand what is REST, I think in this week, in the course that you are doing, Udemy course, there you will go through what is REST, and they will there you will get a more detailed understanding. So this is just an introduction and I'm giving to all of you. All right, these are the all topics that I had to discuss today. So mostly this week will be on the Bootstrap, material design, jQuery, and then the REST API at the end. Okay, so these are the few topics that you have to learn. First is Bootstrap, second is Material UI, third you have to learn more about REST API like resource naming conventions, HTTP code, request and responses and all. Then fourth is you have to learn to use Postman. Postman is something which is a tool, which is a REST client. So you will test your APIs there in the Postman tool. You can go to Google and just search with Postman, and you can download that software and install and try to call the weather API from Postman itself. Okay, and stay prepared for the weekend assignment and the assessment. We will give both. So this week there will be quiz on Friday. This week there will be assessment test at the end, and in this week there will be some sort of assignment also. So these are the there are whole lot of activity that we have planned for this week. So stay prepared for that, and you do the social media post, whatever you are doing, that activities will be, I think it will be very helpful for you in future. So we are also noticing what are the things that you are doing, and so if you do that online, so if you do make those posts, we will appreciate that. Okay, so this is it. Anyone has any question? Anyone, any question? Anyone? Okay, so how was the session? Is it good, bad, ugly, whatever? Okay, great. So okay, so I think I have given input about some topic, so you will learn in detail about them in the course that I have given. Okay, so you will learn in detail, and if you have some questions, then you can always come to me. So why you are not asking questions? So I think in this, from this week onwards, we will move to a little bit of an advanced topic, like where we will learn to create REST APIs and all. Okay, these topics will be a little bit advanced. So if you have any questions, then you can ask. Always use the Discord platform. The platform is already there. So use that platform and take the most value that you can get. So you are getting all of this value, and we are just asking you to participate. So your active participation is something which is the desire, which is my desire. Okay, so you ask the questions to us, we will be very happy to answer, right? So whatever questions you have asked, we have answered, right? If you have not got answered, then you can also send me that. I will answer that personally. Okay, so you can also send me personal text in my Discord also. There I will answer to your question. Okay, so it means if you are not getting answer on your thread and the discussion threads. All right, everyone, so this is all about today's session. So Friday we will organize that quiz station where we will again come up with 10 questions or 15 questions, and that will be a quick 20-minute session or 30-minute session. Then after that there will be assignment, there will be assessment and all. Okay, this is going to be a very okay, fine. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. Anyone else has anything to comment, you can leave that comment on the Discord. So I will see you again. Thank you everyone. Thank you. So I will see you again on the next Monday. So yesterday I was a little bit busy, that's why I could not organize this live session. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining the session. So I will see all of you on the next Monday. Great. Bye bye.